Our leaders of the world's top two economies will speak face-to-face tomorrow for the first time in more than 5 years. Beijing confirming talks will take place between Xi Jinping and Donald Trump in South Korea on the sidelines of the APEC summit. Mr. Trump had been touting this reunion for days, signaling an upbeat forecast for what could result from talks, while giving both leaders a chance to reset a relationship strained by a trade war and technological face-offs. And for more, CNA correspondent Tan Sihui joins us live from Busan in South Korea, and Nick Harper standing by as well in Washington. Let's get to you first, Sihui. Sihui, this confirmation from China coming just a day before these talks are taking place. Any reason for this relatively last-minute confirmation?
Well, I could tell you some of the reasons that the analysts told me. First, they said that they could be waiting for some kind of concessions, or simply it could be the fear of embarrassment that Mr. Trump might cancel the meeting suddenly. But it's unlikely to be a negotiation tactic, because Beijing typically announces these bilateral meetings just a day before these meetings are set to happen. But one negotiation tactic that analysts are saying that seems to have paid off is the rare earth card, which has compelled Mr. Trump to negotiate on the 20% fentanyl-linked tariff, which possibly could be lowered to 10%. And so there are really high hopes for these negotiations. And so far, it has kicked off on a good note at the recently concluded ASEAN summit, where both sides had agreed on a framework for the trade deal, with Chinese Foreign Affairs Minister Wang Yi on Monday saying that he hopes that the U.S. would meet China halfway when it comes to these high-level interactions. So all eyes will be on this meeting that is set to take place tomorrow. Unconfirmed reports are saying that it's going to happen in the afternoon tomorrow here at the Busan airport, where I'm at right now.
Sihui, of course, that clear concession confirmed even by Donald Trump himself on fentanyl. But there are a great many issues, as you would know, covering them as you do, between the U.S. and China, which will also be discussed likely at this meeting tomorrow.
That's right. So from Beijing, there is a clear set of priorities that are going to be at the negotiating table tomorrow. And firstly, that would be the easing of export controls on high-tech products. They're also likely going to try to get some reassurances from China on its one China policy. Now, in recent days, we have seen stronger assertions from China, state media publishing three articles stating the fact that they are drumming up anti-separatist sentiment. They also flew Chinese bombers over Taiwan, calling them confrontation drills that they're practicing over there. They also had declared October 25th as a day for Taiwan's restoration after the end of the World War II. And so analysts are saying that Beijing seems to be thinking that it's in a position that it is able to compel the U.S. to achieve some kind of concession that it has seen in recent months from a Chinese pressure. And this can perhaps be declared as domestic victories. But at the same time, analysts are also saying that President Xi is unlikely to try to rush to get some kind of grand bargain from Mr. Trump.
All right, Sihui, put that on pause. Let's bring in Nick from Washington, D.C. Now, Nick, we heard from Sihui that notwithstanding those issues that have festered for a great deal of time between Washington and Beijing, President Trump has come out very clearly today to say we are going to have a deal. It will be a good deal. There will be really a great result. So not really a case of managing expectations there, is that, from Donald Trump?
No, that's right, Wei. So Donald Trump very much talking this one up. A huge amount of optimism coming from the US president. But I think what we're also seeing is the White House trying to temper those expectations. That said, I feel that this round of talks between the two leaders, there is expectation that we could see breakthroughs in a way that we simply haven't seen during the 9 months that Donald Trump has been in the Oval Office for his second term. That optimism coming off the back of really months months of negotiations at high levels between Washington and Beijing, trying to move this thing forward, trying to find some progress and really try and lay the groundwork before this face-to-face meeting. Donald Trump has been very clear. He says that there are lots of issues between the US and China, but he feels that many of them will be resolved during this meeting. As we heard just a moment ago, though, in many ways, China goes into this with something of a stronger hand. Perhaps they will be able to leverage more concessions from Washington as a result of some of the issues and bargaining chips that they have on the table and that the United States would love for them to relinquish. Things like the rare earth minerals. Washington is unhappy that those export controls have been put in place. It's something that the US would like to see reduced. Tariffs more generally, but also they would like to see China buying more US agricultural products, things like soybeans, because US farmers, like during Donald Trump's first term, are hurting. And there is the possibility of a huge US government bailout being needed to help the farmers. But Donald Trump saying that he is very optimistic that things can be resolved, saying that we've been talking to them, the Chinese. We're not just walking into this meeting cold, that groundwork having been laid. Also saying he's expecting a very good outcome for the country and also for the world in general. We'll have to wait and see whether that bears fruit, but he thinks that he will be in the room with the Chinese leader for potentially 4 hours, so plenty for them to sort out. It'll really be a case of whether or not they can resolve many of those sticking points that, as you mentioned, have been in place for months and months and months.
Oh, thanks. Tan Zihui there reporting live from Busan. Nick from Washington. Nick will be staying with us in just a moment. We will have more from you.